Our goji berry that we grew in a container last year made it through the winter just fine. So I wanted to repot it and kind of give it some better soil. And at the same time, I wanted to remove some of the new sprouts and share those with friends. If you want to see how it did last year, I'll include a link at the end of this video and also down in the description box. I'm using a potting tray outside so I can save the soil and reuse it when I rejuvenate it later. My main goal was just not to tear it up too bad as I gently loosened it from the pot and shook it out into the potting tray. Right away I could see that it had a pretty impressive root system, and it appeared that most of the sprouts sprung up from the bottom of the pot and then grew upwards. After I got it out of the pot, I just tried to gently shake the soil loose from the center part of the plant. And as I did, I noticed a lot of little sprouts that were coming up, and I just basically pulled those loose and snapped them off at the bottom. As you can see in the video, goji berries have a pretty aggressive root system, so I think they would really spread like wildfire if I had them out in our sandy loam soil in the garden. I took my time and removed each little sprout individually, and as I did, I pulled loose any soil that came with the roots. And in time, I ended up with a much smaller root ball with a lot less dirt and about a dozen or so brand new little goji berry plants. And those new sprouts all had fairly decent root systems already going, so it was a perfect situation for starting new plants. Most of them started from the bottom and developed roots as they grew towards the top. So starting them in a new container was very easy. Here's a better look at all the little goji berry plants that I separated from this one plant, and also a look at the root system that's left. After removing all of those new sprouts that were competing for nutrients and water, the main plant should do much better now. I put enough soil in the bottom of the container to lift the existing root ball and plant that was left to the top of the container. Then I added more new soil around the plant, trying my best to keep it centered in the container. I tried not to pack the soil, but keep it fairly loose. Then in the top third of the container, I added a better quality soil, and I also tried to keep that somewhat loose. Then after I got the soil near the top of the container, I gently firmed it down, but not really packing it tight. Then I filled the container to the top with the same soil and gave it a good watering. And over the next week or two, if the soil settles, I'll add more until it's to the top of the container again. Here's a look at one of the little plants that I separated. I have it potted up, and the first thing I did was top it to encourage it to be more bushy instead of long and tall. I think it's May 22nd today. This is what it looks like now. As you can see, it's really grown quite a bit just since I repotted it. What I've been doing is when these limbs get fairly tall, I just go ahead and pinch the ends off, and that'll encourage it to get bushier. You can see right at those leaf joints how it's trying to start growing now, and that'll encourage some of the lower growth to get a little bit taller too. So that's what I'll continue to do. As you can see, it's done really well. Here's a look at the one plant that I separated and stuck in a pot. And when I pinched the top off, I pinched it off right where the end of my index finger is. And it started growing outside. It's also got some other shoots growing. And then a couple of the leaf joints out down the very base started to really take off. And now what I'll do is just continue to pinch those ends off when one of them gets quite a bit longer than the rest. And that'll encourage it to stay bushy instead of tall. And this one's off to a pretty good start. If you're just now finding this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Otherwise, like, comment, and share. We'll see you next time.